I am geeking out right now. Episode 100. You are standing right inside of one of my many dreams come true. Some may call me brave, while others may think it's bizarre I started this podcast. But I think you need a little bit of both to begin. I'm not afraid of the absurd, and you shouldn't be either. If there is something you've been wanting to do, here's some encouragement to begin. And not only just start, but to sustain. In this next series of episodes, I'm sharing some behind the scenes of my road to 100 episodes. Yo, we so official like a whistle. Ooh, episode 100. Be brave enough to begin, to not just take a chance, but to take a chance on you. It's when you actually begin that you get closer to find out your true mission. Your desired ambitions want to give birth to even greater desires, but they remain in their infancy when you don't seek them out to grow. Ready for me to be your personal mindset coach? Work with me one-on-one. Let's let go of what's holding you back and get the mindset you need so you can chase your dreams while doing all the things. You don't have to just dream about the life you love. You can actually live the life of your dreams. With my simple strategies, you can go from imagining to manifesting, from just trying to thriving. Let's rewrite your story now. Tap the link in the show notes and apply now. Your next level you is awaiting. Let's go on this journey together. In the midst of doing all the things, you can do all things and chase your dreams. Stay encouraged as we go on this journey called life, tackling everything that comes our way while we shine our light despite any circumstances we face. No more downplaying or dimming your light, because through the good, the bad, and everything in between, together we can encourage over everything. Encourager! Welcome to episode 100 of the Encourage Over Everything show. Can I just tell you how excited I am to be here? This is such a huge milestone. I'm so proud of the show. It's my creativity baby. I'm even more proud of myself for making it to this point. I also didn't even realize until this episode was set to air that it's also a special milestone because it's my 20-year anniversary in my career in corporate America. I've spent the betterment of my career, like 19 of those years, in leadership, helping people be successful and, more importantly, overcoming challenges to be successful. It's amazing to be in this place all while working on my dream. My career is what taught me I have a niche for helping people. So you see, it's many things that lead you to where you want to go. It's all these beautiful experiences and time that combine into every opportunity and achievement. So don't forget that on your way to where you're going. If you've been here from the beginning or joined me at some point along the way, let me just say thank you. I appreciate you for listening and sharing these episodes because we all need more encouragement in this world. We are constantly bombarded with all the negativity and the injustice out in the world, that positive events barely scratch the surface of our social feeds. I very much want this to be a space where we can get filled up with positive ideas, thoughts, and messages that fuel and inspire us to be great. There was a time in my life where I was so far away from my own light. And when I found it and really hit that reignite button, all I wanted to do was encourage you to do the same. But if you haven't been around from the beginning, let me just share some of my story. I thought I had it rough when I was in my mid-20s, divorced, and a single mom with a baby on each hip. I thought life was so unfair and always happening to me. Turns out that wasn't even the worst of it. When my granny passed away, our family lost our matriarch. Shortly after her, my mom, who was my everything, passed away at the tender age of 53. She had me on her 15th birthday, and we were so very close. My whole life was wrapped up in her, and without her, I was lost. I didn't even know who I was without her. I was absolutely, completely undone. It wasn't that I didn't want to live, because living was my only option. I had to be here for my babies. I just didn't know how to deal with the pain and create a new normal. I used to hate that word too, or phrase, by the way, new normal. I was like, what is that? And how am I supposed to create it without my mom? Really? But thank goodness for grief counseling. It saved me. That is where I learned I had to create that new normal and heal. The more I healed, the more I recognized I wasn't lost after all. I was simply making my own transition from the old me to the new me, and the growing pains were something fierce. After losing my mom, I couldn't hide behind all of my old insecurities, my negativity, or ways I played small. I was stripped of all that and forced to shed it all to become my greatest self, who, truthfully, I hid from for the longest time. It was easy to remain the same, playing victim, settling for whatever was given to me, then grow and take the risk to go for what I really wanted. I could no longer be naive or pretend that better was possible. I don't know if you've ever had an experience that literally stripped you of all the BS and left you wide open. That's exactly what my mom's loss did for me. I was broken down to my brake pads, all so I could rebuild. You are worthy of self-care every day, not just on a Sunday. As you do all the things and chase your dreams, self-care has to be a major part of your day-to-day life. Giving yourself what you need is the key to being able to give everybody else what they need. If you're having a hard time making sure your self-care is on your list, get all the deets in the Encourager's Insider Guide to Self-Care. These free, easy DIY tips for simple ways to make self-care a part of your daily routine, plus some bonus goodies. Get your free Encourager's Guide to Self-Care because you deserve to be a priority on your list. Grab it right on the blog or the show.encourageovereverything.com/self-care freebie. No more being last on your list. Grab it today and give yourself the gift of self-care. The more I healed from the darkest time of my life, the more it led me to my greatest light. While nothing will ever fill the void of my mom, healing, working on me, my own development, improving, and becoming a better me filled me in ways I never even imagined possible. Becoming this version of myself who feels comfortable in my skin, confident in who I am, all because I took the time and put in the effort to get to know me again, discover new interests and facets of myself that I love. This next level me is definitely where it's at. When I look back at what I did to help me get through and really get to this new space, it was encouragement. I filled myself with so much positivity from getting closer to God, curating my social feeds so that it really highlighted thought leaders, authors, uplifting influencers, and positive message that sowed new seeds to bear new fruit. The more I encouraged me and really encouraged over everything, the more I wanted to encourage you. I originally started working on a book to help share how I process my grief, and it's still a passion project in the works. Me being the creative I am, making the podcast was a way I could connect with you and share positive messages every week. This journey has not been perfect by far, but guess what? We still up in this thing. I know you are excited to get into some behind the scenes, but let's relish in this moment. I'm so happy I decided to begin this journey. Who would have thunk a girl with an internship at a local radio station would wind up with her own podcast, serving up positivity? In the famous words of Drake, started from the bottom, now we're here. I've heard the great Brendan Burchard talk about the fear people have of being seen starting small. So many won't even start their dream or even put a pinky toe in because of the fear of being seen starting small. It's so interesting when you consider everything great started at one. That one thought, one idea, one action, it all starts at one. You can't get to 100 without first starting at one. It's even more amazing to me how we celebrate the first milestones of babies, their first scoot, their first little crawl, and their first step. But we stop celebrating our own first or our own milestones. But let's change that and get back to celebrating our first and all the beautiful milestones in between. I will never forget the day I told my boo, my love, I wanted to start a podcast. The way he believes in me and my dreams is amazing. He bought my equipment long before the first episode was ever even made. One of the greatest representation of love is him holding my dreams as his own and us holding them together as ours. I took a course that taught me everything I needed to know about launching a podcast. And I knew I wanted to launch while I was in Maui on my girls' trip. From then until now, my love for this podcast has grown immensely. Mind you, even with a full-time job as a leader, raising a family, doing all the things, weaving my dreams into my day has been very intentional. Making time to write, record, edit, publish every episode and blog, not to mention everything else you see from the graphics to the IG post. That's all me, boo. It's all the things you don't see that fuels all of this. The morning meditation, the gratitude, the journaling, the prayers, the classes, the courses, masterminds, and the continued investment in my own personal development every day. That's the foundation of it all. It hasn't been perfect, y'all, but I've enjoyed it. I proudly announced I'd be here every Monday and Wednesday, but y'all have had to work with me. When Monday became Tuesday and Wednesday became Thursday, I had to extend myself some love and grace, much like what you gave me. Thank you for your kindness and just not expecting me to be perfect. I also had to release myself from expecting instant perfection. I don't have to be perfect when I'm doing my best, and neither do you. I love sharing my favorites with you. My favorite app on my phone is the Growth Day app. The journal feature is everything. If you want to be able to journal literally anywhere you have your phone in hand, this is for you. If you don't know what to write, no worries. You will want this for the science-backed journal prompts alone. It's a great place to reflect, explore, gain new insights, and level up your perspective. This all-in-one personal development app has a great plan section, a place to capture your life scores, and so much more. Now, if you love self-improvement as much as I do, you are going to love what Brendan Burchard has put together. Check out the link in show notes, and I'll see you there. Where can you reach for that release in your own life? Where can you release yourself from your own expectations? Where can you grant yourself some grace? For as much as I want to perfect this craft, the only way to do that is in motion. It's in the doing and the release of every episode, every edit, every blog. It wasn't perfect, but I was getting better. It's in the fumbles, the missteps, the tripping over my own feet that I've still managed to land exactly where I'm meant to be. So don't fear falling. As long as you get up and keep going, you are still going to end up where you are meant to be. When I moved over the summer, I had to put a pause on this thing. Relocating a family is no easy feat. All new everything took over in every kind of way. Even in the wildness of it all, I noticed there was no guilt. Ooh, the peace of it all. And this is how you know you're doing the right thing, when there is a calm sense of peace. Chasing my dreams without sacrificing my family or any of my relationships, roles, or responsibilities has been a priority I reevaluate on a regular. This has been one of the principles I've built this podcast and brand on. As women, we have so many things riding on us. We put so much ahead of ourselves, and it can seem impossible to have time or space for your dreams while maintaining connections and the integrity amongst all you do. I want to show you what's possible. It's a beautiful dance, really, a lovely melody as we weave pieces of ourselves in all we do each day. There is a way to live fully in all of it if we are willing to find our rhythm and shift when we get off beat. It takes a little bit of two key ingredients to get started and sustain. I had to be brave and yet capitalize on the bizarre. Brave enough to answer the call to the desires burning within. The more I learned from my own personal development, the more I wanted to share to hopefully shortcut the process for you. And if nothing else, encourage you along your journey. I had to act on the bizarre notion that little old me was capable of doing something on such a massive scale, something so far beyond my own introverted self. That thought, you are just a single mom, rang in my ears on repeat for years, and it took me a long time to play a new tune. Once I realized I wasn't just anything, I tapped into my true power. I am more than a mom, a girlfriend, a career-driven woman, a family member, friend, neighbor, and every other title I hold. I am a person, a human being, a woman with many intricate characteristics and elements. Some I have yet to discover. I am more than just a set of titles, and so are you. I want to encourage you not to be reduced to your titles, not to play small by hiding behind them. Instead, act on that bizarre notion, that calling, that tug on your heartstrings, that's calling you home, back to you to unlock your next level and more. It might seem bizarre that you have a desire to be the best mother or wife or husband or partner, or start a business, or go back to school, run for city council, be a great community figure, start a new hobby, or whatever it is that you are being called to do. When you act on that bizarre little notion, you realize it's not so bizarre after all, because you had what it takes from the beginning. That little calling leads you to big things. Creating this podcast brought me closer to myself. I know going after your dreams will bring you home too. Going after your dreams builds confidence by taking step after step, day after day, leads you down your road to 100. So don't ignore that bizarre little whisper. It has some relevance and bears with it great gifts. If you are willing to explore it, lean in and allow it to take you where you are meant to go. Be brave enough to begin, to not just take a chance, but to take a chance on you. It's when you actually begin that you get closer to find out your true mission. Your desired ambitions want to give birth to even greater desires, but they remain in their infancy when you don't seek them out to grow. Have the audacity to tap into the bizarre in all of our quests to fit in or quote unquote be normal, whatever that is. But when you embrace those unique qualities about yourself that make you, this is where you thrive and feel most confident and happy in your own skin. So many times we're wondering why we feel out of place. It's because we haven't embraced who we are ourselves. So take that first step and then the next. Celebrate that step and the ones that follow, imperfect and all. You can't get to where you ultimately want to be without the steps it takes to get there. Channel the brave and tap into the bizarre. My desire to write a book about how I process my grief led me to an even greater desire to be a source of encouragement, to shine my light so that you can be inspired to shine yours. I had no idea at that time that was even possible. My darkest times led me to my greatest light. I can't wait to share where this has led me to now. Encourage over your ability to be brave and lean into the bizarre, because together we can encourage over everything. Thanks for tuning in. I would absolutely love to hear from you. Please take a moment to leave a review. All you have to do is rate by lighting me up with some stars and leave a few words. If you share this episode, let me thank you in advance for sharing positive messages, because we all know some peeps in our lives who could use an extra dose of encouragement. And I'm throwing virtual confetti right now to celebrate you for finishing this episode. I don't know about you, but I'm not ready for this to end. So if you want more, check out theshow.encourageovereverything.com for literally all things Encourage Over Everything. Stay connected and join the email list. Get that VIP treatment by being the first to know all the happenings and get encouragement sent right to your inbox. Theshow.encourageovereverything.com has everything that you're looking for, from show notes and all of the info on today's sponsors. And if you are looking to connect with other fellow encouragers, be sure to join my exclusive community at the Encourage Over Everything Facebook group. I can't wait to connect with you in the next episode. Remember, there isn't anything that we can't get through, because together we can encourage over everything.